President Rodrigo Duterte leads campaign for the Bangsamoro Organic Law ratification in Cotabato City ahead of the poll on Monday. Survey shows wide number of youth in the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao aiming to take part in the poll for the creation of a Bangsamoro region.
Instead na makapagbigay ng tamang impormasyon sa mga botante, ay parang ginagamit ito para i-condition yung isip nila na ito iboto nyo.
And some senatorial aspirants urge COMELEC to ban election surveys being conducted by Pulse Asia and social weather stations. Good evening. President Rodrigo Duterte makes one final pitch for the proposal to create a new Bangsamoro region. Nel Maribohok tells us why live from Cotabato City. Yes, Nel?
Good evening, Rheena. Different groups and individuals.
Bangsamoro Organic Law here in Cotabato City.
The Philippine National Police and the Armed Forces of the Philippines have implemented a tightened security for those who attend the peace rally in the office of Regional Governor Compound.
Members led the peace rally. The leadership of Moro Islamic Liberation Front or MILF also attended the event. The President emphasizes the need for the Moro people's approval of the BOL. President Duterte believes it will resolve the hunger problem in the region.
Your approval of this law will not only serve as an expression of your desire to end more than half a century of armed struggle in the region. It will also serve as a testament to your determination to bring genuine peace and development in Muslim Mindanao through an autonomous government that truly represents and understands the needs of the people.
The President also indicated that peace talks with the terrorist group Abu Sayyaf has no hope under his administration.
Itong komunista pakapin na ito. But I will never talk with the Abu Sayyaf. Hindi talaga po. Hindi talaga po. Kailanman, terorista.
The President's appeal to the people who will be affected by the BOL 3 days before the plebiscite on January 21 for the 5 provinces of ARMM, Isabela City, in Basilan, and here in Cotabato City. That is our update here in Cotabato City, Rheena.
Thank you so much, Nel Maribohok, reporting live from Cotabato City. More youth in the autonomous region and Muslim Mindanao showed support for the Bangsamoro Organic Law days before the scheduled poll on January 21. Results of the survey conducted by Peace Building Organization International Alert Philippines from January 11 to 13, 2019 showed that 70% of the ARMM youth, whether or not they intend to vote, support the ratification of the BOL. The latest figure is higher by 10% than 60.4% of youth who said they were in favor of the law in the survey conducted by the group last October 2018. But there were more youth voters from Cotabato City and Isabela in Basilan who are now saying they were not in favor of the new law. Based on the latest findings, youth support for the BOL in Cotabato City went down to 44% from 56% in 2018, while those saying they would reject the new law increased from 13% to 32%. According to the survey, part of the reason was the increase in the number of non-Muslims in Cotabato City who said they would cast their vote in the plebiscite. Two senatorial aspirants will file a petition in the Commission on Elections or COMELEC against publishing election surveys. Eileen Cerudo tells us why.
Senatorial aspirants Attorney Larry Gadon and Antonio Butch Valdez believes that election surveys conducted by Pulse Asia and social weather stations or SWS are mere propaganda and only encourage bandwagon. With this, they will file a petition before the Commission on Elections or COMELEC against the said organizations and ban them from publishing election surveys. Gadon said the proper process in choosing a candidate gets lost because voters only rely on these surveys.
Ang sinasabi ko dito sa petition, wag na nilang i-publish dahil ang nangyayari, nagiging instrumento ito ng mind conditioning. Na instead na makapagbigay ng tamang impormasyon sa mga botante, ay parang ginagamit ito para i-condition yung isip nila na ito iboto nyo.
They also questioned the process of the survey, saying they only used a small percent of population as respondents compared to the total population of the country. Both senatorial aspirants claim these surveys can no longer be considered as valid information. Meanwhile, an expert defended the publishing of surveys. According to Jose Ramon Albert, a senior research fellow of the Philippine Institute for Development Studies or PIDS, surveys are a snapshot of what people think. He added that there are a lot of factors like the social media that can influence an individual and not just surveys. Valdez calls on the public to choose candidates that will push for change and not just rely on surveys.
We should get our people involved. Lahat po ng mga mamamayan, whatever your party affiliations are, you must get involved to get this country back into the hands of the Filipinos.
UNTV attempted to get a statement from COMELEC, but no one has yet to take our calls. The poll body spokesperson had previously reminded the public to not just depend on surveys in choosing a candidate.
Halimbawa, kung ikaw naniniwala ka sa mga karapatan ng kababaihan, bakit ka pipili ng kandidatong ang mga kilos at mga gawa ay hindi nakatuon sa kababaihan, di ba? Or hindi pumoprotekta sa kababaihan. Pipili ka nung sumasang-ayon sa iyong paniniwala. And I think yun ang pinakamahalaga na standard.
Eileen Cerudo, UNTV, News and Rescue.
A disqualified party list group is seeking remedy from the Supreme Court. In its petition, Manggagawa Party List has asked the higher court or High Court to issue a temporary restraining order and to stop the Commission on Elections from delisting them from the official list of candidates. The group said the poll body's disqualification order against them is vague, which is based solely on their failure to expressly state that they are not being funded by the government. The order was issued last December 19, 2018, but the group said they only received it this week.
Ang naging basis lang naman ay yung hindi lang namin clearly in-state na hindi kami funded ng government. Ang malinaw pa naman sa sikat ng araw na yung mga organisasyon na nakapaloob sa Manggagawa Party tulad ng KMU, nakadamay, ng Piston at ng migrante ay kahit kailanman mula nung sila ay sinilang ay hindi kailanman naging funded ng gobyerno o anumang organisasyon. Ang main source ng aming funds ay galing sa union dues ng aming organization.
Although the Philippine National Police has not identified any part of Metro Manila as an election hotspot, the National Capital Region Police Office continues to monitor the whole area for the coming elections. Bernard Dadis tells us why.
4 months into the 2019 midterm elections, the PNP National Capital Region Police Office or NCRPO has yet to monitor any election hotspot in Metro Manila. This is what NCRPO Chief Police Director Guillermo Elizar has announced earlier prior to a meeting with the Commission on Elections and the Joint Task Force NCR as part of their preparation for the coming elections. Elizar, however, indicated that they will remain vigilant in monitoring their jurisdiction.
With these 16 cities and one municipality in Metro Manila, wala tayong considered na hotspot. But just the same, we keep on monitoring and we consider all these areas na dapat natin bigyan ng focus.
The NCRPO chief said that although there are some areas where the competition among candidates is intense, it is not enough to be considered as election hotspots.
We do not foresee any untoward incident. Yun yung ating nakikita. And we will work on that na ma-maintain natin yung ating situation just like what happened in last election.
Also discussed in the conference among the officials of COMELEC and the PNP NCR are the measures that they will take to ensure peaceful and orderly elections in May. Eliazar also urged owners of guns with expired licenses to surrender their arms to the PNP to avoid being implicated in crimes. BRONER, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Up next on Y News. Subic local government calls for support for thousands of workers affected by the Hanjin Philippines bankruptcy. And the Filipino boxing icon Manny Pacquiao assures he is in top form as he readies to fight challenger Adrian BRONER in Las Vegas this coming Saturday. Thank you for keeping me company in the first part of Y News. More reasons behind the stories with Angelo, Castro III, and Thio after this quick break. I'm Rheena, Villamor-Camara. Good evening.
Mayor Paint. With Mayor, you paint more while you pay less.
Si Engineer Fulgencio Gaviria, seniors na kung sumasakit. Sa libreng sakay, malaking tulong po ito. Lalo na itong medyo mahihirap. Simula nung nag-umpisa kami rito, meron pang libreng pandesal at saka libreng kape. Maganda po itong public service ni Eli Soriano at saka si Kuya Daniel Rason. Sana po pagpatuloy niyo pa itong ginagawa niyong public service para maraming natutulungan po sa ganito.
Real-life medical cases, from diagnosis to treatment, breakthroughs in medicine, advanced procedures, new discovery, sound advice from the health experts and seasoned doctors, and real public service. World-class medical assistance to the unprivileged kasambahays. All these and more exciting episodes in the new season of Doctors on TV, every Sunday, 7 to 8 in the morning, only here at UNTV, your public service channel. Did you know that God commanded the Israelites to circumcise the babies on their 8th day? It is written in Genesis chapter 17, verse 12. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man-child in your generations, he that is born in the house, or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. Thousands of years later, medical professionals discovered that the blood-clotting elements, vitamin K and prothrombin, are on an adequate level on the 8th day of life. Make it a habit to read and learn more about the Holy Scriptures. A reminder from UNTV, your public service channel. Kasama ba ang inyong lugar sa dadaanan ng East Valley Fault? Ito ang mga barangay na madadaanan o malapit sa East Valley Fault. Sa lalawigan ng Rizal, kasama ang mga barangay sa San Mateo, Ampid 1, Dulong Bayan 2, Ginayang, Gitnang Bayan 2, Malanday, Mali at Santa Ana. Sa Rodriguez, kasama ang mga barangay ng Burgos, Macabud, San Jose, San Isidro at San Rafael. Pinapayuhan ang lahat na malapit sa East Valley Fault o may 5 metro ang layo mula sa fault line na kung maaari ay lumikas o kaya naman ay siguraduhing nakahanda sakaling lumindol. Laging tandaan na sa panahon ng kalamidad, mahalagang may kaalaman at abilidad.
Isang paalala mula sa UNTV, your public service channel.
Welcome back to Y News. We pick up from where Rheena Villamor-Camara left off. I'm Angelo Castro III. Here are the headlines.
Siyempre nalulungkot kami dahil almost 20 to 30,000 jobs ang nawala. Lalong-lalo na kami yung biggest city.
Over 30,000 workers now suffering after Hanjin Philippines declared bankruptcy. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas expects inflation to fall within its 2 to 4% target this year after averaging at 5.9% for the fourth quarter of 2018. And 40-year-old boxing icon Manny Pacquiao out to prove that age is just a number as he sets to defend his title against American Adrian BRONER on Saturday. Subic Zambales authorities have called on the government for assistance to workers that will be affected by the imminent closure of Hanjin Philippines. Robbie De Guzman tells us why.
The local government of Subic Zambales is calling on the national government to provide assistance for around 30,000 workers who are now suffering because of Hanjin Philippines bankruptcy. Hanjin Philippines is a subsidiary of well-known South Korean shipbuilder Hanjin Heavy Industries and Construction Company Limited. It has outstanding debts with 5 of the country's biggest banks estimated to total to $412 million. Aside from the employees, other stakeholders such as vendors and local food service providers are also expected to suffer. According to Subic Mayor J. Conggun, the local economy in Subic will lose up to 200 million pesos in annual revenue with the closure of the said company.
Siyempre nalulungkot kami dahil almost 20 to 30,000 jobs ang nawala. Lalong-lalo na kami yung biggest city. Itong bayan ng Subic ang biggest city. Approximately sa amin, ang mga nawalang empleyado sa amin, almost 15,000 sa amin. Kalahati ng 30,000 nawala sa amin.
The LGU has set up help desks in every barangay to address the concerns of affected employees, while local officials are looking for options that will somehow help them secure employment in malls and call centers or sending the skilled workers like welders to jobs overseas.
Lagi ko nga sinasabi na nanawagan ako sa national government para tulungan kami rito. Kasi as of now, wala pang nagpupunta. Puro locally, yung mga projects dito patungkol sa kanila, puro ang nag-initiative, puro local initiative lang yung ginagawa namin. Pero syempre we can only do so little. So kailangan din namin ng tulong ng national government para maibsan yung kahirapan. Lalong-lalo na yung nangyayari, nakawala ng trabaho.
On Thursday, Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana implied a possible takeover of the Hanjin facility by the Philippine government. Robbie De Guzman, UNTV, News and Rescue.
Although the inflation rate soared in January to September 2018, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas believes that the economy was able to regain equilibrium towards the end of the year. Here's why from JL Asayo.
Prices of prime commodities have gone down in the third quarter of 2018. This is due to the maintenance of supply and the successive rollback of prices of petroleum products. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or BSP data shows that the inflation went down to 5.9% in the last quarter from 6.2% in the third quarter. The economy also recovered in the last quarter of 2018 and the peso versus dollar exchange rate has regained stability. Remittances from the overseas Filipino workers had also been a big boost in the economy.
Actually, malaki ang pumasok na dolyar sa Pilipinas nitong palapit na ang pagtatapos ng taon. Kaya makikita natin na lalo pang gumanda ang ating gross international reserves. Actually, halos 2 bilyong dolyares yung itinaas ng ating GIR.
The Philippine banking system also showed good performance. Growth was sustained in terms of assets and deposits as well as in company loans and home mortgages. Meanwhile, the BSP is confident that the implementation of the second tranche of the excise tax on oil products will have a big blow in the economy. The BSP is also preparing for effects of natural calamities that will hit the country this year.
Well, natural calamities naman, hindi mo ito talaga mapipredict. Ang magagawa mo dito ay gawin ang ekonomiya mo na mas resilient kung magkaroon ng natural calamity na makakaresponde ka. So, importante doon yung ating infrastructure program.
The BSP believes that if the inflation rate continues downward trend this year, there is a big possibility that there will be changes in the prices of commodities that will be advantageous for the ordinary Filipino families. JL Asayo, UNTV, News and Rescue, Manila.
Civic leader Samira Gutok Tomawis admitted that her bid for the senatorial race in the 2019 midterm elections was an accident. Ray Pelayo tells us why.
In an interview in the program Get It Straight with Daniel Razon earlier, Civic leader Samira Gutok Tomawis said she was pressed to enter politics by pure accident. The senatorial hopeful said her experiences during the terrorist takeover of Marawi City in 2017, when she and her family were among the victims, opened her mind to consider taking on the challenge. Samira served for 1 year as an assemblywoman under the administration of former President Benigno Aquino III and stayed for 3 more months under the Duterte administration. She was a former member of the Bangsamoro Transition Commission but left the commission when she realized that some policies of the Duterte administration are not aligned with her principles.
So that's the time na nagkaroon ka ng falling out sa gobyerno, sa administrasyong Duterte.
Hindi man lang ako natanong at ako ang nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno.
Anong tanong ang iniintay mo sa kanila?
What will we do, Sam? Gumagawa ka ng batas. Ano ang gagawin natin ngayon na nagkakagulo? Mismo sa tabi ng bahay mo.
Among her priorities when elected in Senate is the passage of the proposed Internally Displaced Persons Bill that will provide shelter and livelihood programs for those affected by strife and calamities.
Ang pinakamalaking problema ng Pilipinas is disasters from nature. Climate refugee phenomenon. So marami pong biktima po ng mga floodings, etc. So anong programa natin for protection nila, housing nila, etc.
Samira also eyes measures that will provide education and other assistance for indigenous people that count to almost 20 million of the country's population.
Dapat may trabaho sila. Hindi sila dinidiskrimina dahil sa tribo sila.
Di ba meron na tayo niyan?
It's pending, yung anti-discrimination bill. So ang advocacy na lang is na nasa baba sa mga probinsya. Bawat isang probinsya ay nagkakaroon na ng anti-discrimination bill.
She opposes the Duterte administration with its declaration of martial law in Mindanao, its proposal for a federal shift, the reinstitution of death penalty, and the Duterte's war on drugs, specifically the Oplan Tokhang, because she believes that a drug dependent still deserves the chance for rehabilitation. However, she has in her platform of government proposals to resume peace negotiations with the Communist Party of the Philippines, New People's Army. She also vowed to push for subsidy for abused overseas Filipino workers once elected in Senate. Ray Pelayo, UNTV, News and Rescue, Quezon City.
30 groups of doctors manifested not to support political aspirants who will block the passage of higher tobacco excise tax. Senator J.B. Ejercito admits that the bill for higher tobacco tax might go through the eye of a needle for its passage, given only 9 days before their session break. Aiko Miguel tells us why.
Pass tobacco to the mass.
30 groups of doctors stand firm that the only way to fund the universal health care of the government is the passage of the bill for higher tobacco excise into law. This is the reason why they manifested not to vote for political aspirants who will block the bill's passage. These doctors aim for its passage to lessen deaths of Filipinos yearly due to smoking. 60% of smokers died because of lack of access to healthcare services. The passage of the bill for higher tobacco tax will encourage smokers to quit smoking and give a supplemental fund for the universal healthcare program of the government.
We are promising
to fight for election candidates who support the bill. And we also promise to fight just as strongly legislators who oppose or delay the bill.
These groups of doctors will issue a list of the candidates who they will be supporting and vote for. These candidates will be those who will push for the public's health care.
We're 7,000 to 10,000 doctors, and we have many patients, and we have also relatives. And also the other doctors here sa PMA, 70,000 yan. Think of the magnitude of the impact na hindi sila iboboto ng health professionals and their relatives. Minimum 5 million to about 6 million.
There are two pending bills in Congress. One is for the 60 pesos excise tax, and the other one is for the 90 pesos excise tax for a pack of cigarette. The Department of Finance is in favor of the 60 pesos per pack tobacco excise tax bill. According to Assistant Secretary Tony Lambino of the Department of Finance, the UHC program still lacks 40 billion pesos fund.
Yung nakalaan po sa UHC for 2019 ay 217 billion. Yung financing gap po na 40.5 billion, yun po yung manggagaling dito sa additional sin taxes.
Meanwhile, Senator J.V. Ejercito admits that the bill seems to have the least chance of getting enacted, as there are only 9 days left before their session break. On January 29, the Committee on Ways and Means is set for a hearing for the said bill.
I was just being honest. No? Nasabi ko, masikip, kaya pero parang dadaan tayo sa butas ng karayom because we only have 9 session days left. And also, we are still working on the national budget.
Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Malacanang believes there is no need to pressure Congress to pass the proposed 2019 national budget. Rosalie Cos tells us why.
The Duterte administration hopes to have the proposed 2019 national budget approved next month. Senate President Tito Soto has earlier said the Senate targets to approve the 2019 proposed budget on the second and third reading on Monday. With this, presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo believes Malacanang does not need to put pressure on Congress.
Are you not going to up the ante for pressure? Because,
hindi na kailangan. I'm sure they will be passing that naman. They're all concerned with these services, infrastructures that will be affected.
House Majority Leader Rolando Andaya Jr. last week filed a petition for mandamus before the Supreme Court to compel Budget Secretary Benjamin Jokno to release the scheduled salary increase for government workers. But Jokno insisted that the Budget Department has no legal basis to release the pay increase unless the 2019 General Appropriations Act is passed. However, once signed into law, the government will be able to release the fourth tranche of the salary increase for government personnel, particularly for teachers, policemen, and soldiers.
If the budget is approved, then the petition becomes moot and academic.
And we are confident that...
I think so. I was with the Speaker Arroyo. She mentioned that most likely it will be passed.
Rosa Licos, UNTV News and Rescue, Malacanang.
Filipino World Welterweight Champion Manny Pacquiao will defend his title tomorrow as he battles Adrian Broner for the epic world title fight at MGM Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's find out why Manny Pacquiao is still fighting at his age in this report.
Filipino boxer Manny Pacquiao is set to defend his WBA welterweight title against former four-weight world champion Adrian "The Problem" Broner on Saturday in Las Vegas. Pacquiao, who turned 40 last month, said that the fight will be a challenge for him as he sets out to prove that age is just a number. The match will be Pacquiao's 70th professional fight, 24 years after his debut, fighting a 29-year-old boxer, which is 11 years younger than him. Pacquiao and Broner faced off during a news conference in MGM Hotel and Casino last Wednesday. Broner stated he is not scared in facing Pacquiao. Instead, he will ensure his win.
Pacquiao said that he is ready and prepared for BRONER's style and that he badly wants to defeat him in order to set up a possible rematch with Floyd Mayweather Jr., whom he fought last 2015 and lost some points. Pacquiao retorted to defeat by Jeff Horn in 2017 by knocking out Lucas Matisse in July 2018 to bag the world title and extend his record to 60 wins, 7 defeats, and 2 draws, while BRONER has drawn and lost in his last 2 fights, having a record of 33 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. Many people wonder why Pacquiao still fight despite his age, saying he should retire. Pacquiao, however, said that it is his passion that keeps him in continuing to be in the box and that he can still see himself retiring by now. In these past months, the senator boxer trained hard physically and mentally by reading books and playing chess and basketball to keep him sharp and in position. Rumors have surfaced that the winner of the match will get an opportunity to face boxing champion Floyd Mayweather Jr., who will be watching the Pacquiao-BRONER fight. The match will be broadcasted pay-per-view, which is awaited by many Filipinos who wanted to see the pambansang kamao ng Pilipinas back on game. Victor Cosare, UNTV News and Rescue.
Up next on Y News.
Third, we will protect the American people from all types of missile attacks.
President Donald Trump unveils a revamped U.S. missile defense strategy that singles out North Korea as an extraordinary threat. UK Parliament sets debate on January 29 for Prime Minister Theresa May's Plan B after her Brexit deal's crushing defeat this week. And Colombian president vows a harsh response after a deadly car bombing attack at the police academy in Bogota.